Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to learn three things of prompt engineering: zero shot learning, one shot learning, and few shot learning. I'll first show you practically in the browser how it works, and then I'll come back to my PPT to explain what I have done. This will help you to understand better. In my previous video, I used ChatGPT to show you some examples. In this video, I'll use Gemini. I can use any other things also. However, as I have already used Meta AI with my examples, it is already trained. So when an LLM is already trained, it even if we don't give the example, it might give you the correct answer. So in Gemini, I have not entered my prompts. So let me see how it works. Okay. So zero shot learning. Zero shot learning is a learning where we only give the instruction to the LLM platform and we do not give any example. Okay, an instruction without any example. Here I have mentioned. So in my previous video, I told you that your instruction, your prompt should contain multiple things like your role, the context, then the instruction, right? So if you enter in this format, it will be more useful. So here I am saying that your role is you are an experienced specialist in identifying sentiment, human emotion, tone, etc. What is the context? I want to analyze customer feedback to understand their emotion on our product. And what is the instruction? Classify the sentiment of the following review. This is the text. Delivery was delayed by 3 days and support team never replied to my mails. So let me see what response Gemini gives. Gemini has done the analysis and it gave me a response, right? What kind of response? It says it is a negative response and it gave me a lot of information about that. Now, do I really need this kind of response or maybe I need in a different kind of response, right? So let me go to one shot prompting. So here, what I'm doing is the same thing. Your role is there, context is there. In the instruction, I'm saying you classify the positive, negative, neutral, etc. Classify the sentiment. Then I'm giving an example that if this is the text, then you give me sentiment and you give me the reason. That's it. Okay. Now, in the note, I can give do not give additional information. Let me see if it gives additional information. If it gives, then we will modify the prompt again. So, this is a practical hands on experience you are getting so that you understand what exactly happens actually. I can refine and give you a refined video, but then that will not help you completely. So here I am giving the instruction and let me see what Gemini responds. Sentiment classification, now it is giving only this. This is the text, this is the sentiment, and this is the reason, right? If it had given more information, then I would have added this note also that do not give any additional information and keep the response short. But I did not have to give because Gemini understood. Sometimes ChatGPT gives a lot of more information. That is the reason we have to give. And even Meta AI also gave me more information. And that is the reason I had to add that note. But I just tried whether Gemini understand or not. Now, few shot learning. In few shot learning, we give 3 to 5 examples. Standard is you give 4 examples, not more than that, because if you give too many example also, that will also confuse the LLM. So here we are giving a different kind of instruction. Here I am saying that you act as a AI language understanding expert. Okay, what is the context? The chatbot must identify user's intent. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to train a chatbot. Okay, based on the example provided, you identify the intent. And this is the example, right? Input is what is the weather in Bangalore today, then it's a intent is get weather and what is the reason he is asking. And similarly, we have given 3 examples. Okay. And now we said, now analyze this input. Find a good Italian restaurant near my location. So what is the intent and what is the reason? So let me copy this prompt. You see, the only difference is the examples we are adding, right? Now let me click on this and it is generating response. So here, see, it only gave me that much which is needed. Intent, find local place, reason, the user is asking to locate a specific category of business, that is Italian restaurant, and applying a geographical constraint, right, near my location. So this is how it works. Now it could have given some different response also. For example, in my first analogy, we see that it gave in a different way. But when we gave it instruction that this is how I need, then it gave me the response or output exactly the way I want. Now let me go back to the PPT and explain what we have just done. Okay. So zero shot learning. What is zero shot learning? Zero shot learning is a way where we don't have to give any example or any training data to generate an output for my instruction. It is already pre-trained, as you know, LLM is already pre-trained with a lot of data. It understands the intent, context, and it can generate very high quality output. Okay. Now, where we can apply this learning, where if we have to do any text classification, sentiment analysis, language translation, question answering, mainly question answering on new topics, so we can use this. Okay. Now, one shot learning is where we are giving one example so that it understand what kind of output I want. For example, it is giving me an output in paragraph format. However, I need it in a tabular format, or it can be any other format also. What is the difference between the zero shot and one shot? Strength is it works immediately, no example needed, and for one shot, more context leads to better accuracy. If for example, as I said, you want in a tabular format output, but it is giving maybe in a list format or some other format, right? So that is where it is helpful. Few shot learning, we give 3 to 5 examples so that the platform understand what kind of response exactly I am looking for, so that it gives me exactly what I want. But please remember, do not give too much of examples that will confuse the LLM. Okay, so where we can use the few shot, here if you see key applications, NLP classification, computer version, conversation AI, etc. And it has two different types of learning method. One is the meta learning, one is transfer learning. In meta learning, it learn across multiple tasks. For transfer learning, fine tuning pre-trained model. Okay, so that's it for today. Please watch the video again and again to understand and do practice. The more you practice, the more you will learn. These are easy, just you have to practice it. If there is any question, you can put it in the comment or write me an email with prompt engineering query as the subject line. I will respond to you. Thank you for watching. I hope this video gave some information to you. This video is useful for you. And in the next session, we will learn chain of thought. Thank you so much.